Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how to use the Cloche domes and also the Cloche stamp set that comes with it. I was requested by a customer of mine, Melanie, so many thanks for the request, Melanie. She wanted to see how to use the domes and also the stamp set. So this is the first one that I did. And while I was checking out other videos to find out the easiest way of doing this, I found a really great tip from somebody called Linda Heller, and that's what I'm going to be showing you for today's card. Not only have I made this one, I've also made this one. I've used last year's sequiny bits in there. And the snowman is what he was left over from the Penguin Friends Designer Series paper that was available in Celebration. He had been fussy cut, so I've done him. And I've also done this one, which is, I've used the stamp from the Snowman Season stamp set, which had been brought forward from last year. So I'm hoping to show you how to do this one and this one today, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking. I'm going to get on with it. First of all, I'm going to be doing this one, then I'll move on to the stamp set for the cloche. So the card pieces that you're going to be needing, obviously you need one of the cloches. I've forgotten what I've done with my book. Not that I really think I need it, because all the sizes are really basically our regular sizes. So the card pieces that I tell you for this card are exactly the same for the second card. So you need a basic white cardstock base, which measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. As usual, I will put the measurements in the box below, together with the metric measurements and also the inches for letter size cardstock users as well. They'll all be in the box below, but for this it's A4 cardstock users inches. So the card base is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 4 1/8 inches. And then you need 2 pieces of real red, and they should measure 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/2 inches. One basic white layer, which measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. A piece of Gingerbread and Peppermint Designer Series paper, which measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. That is the same for this other card, except the Designer Series paper I'm using for the other card is from Heartwarming Hugs. Otherwise all the pieces are the same. You will also need a piece of basic white cardstock, which measures approximately 3 inches by 3 1/2 inches. And the magic ingredient, or secret ingredient rather, is a piece of acetate that measures about 3 inches by 3 1/2 inches. And also a scrap for the sentiment as well. And I also want to thank a Australian demo by the name of Veronica. I don't know how to pronounce her surname, but it's spelled C-U-I-C. I saw a video that she made about some tags, and she did this cut on the end, and it is so easy to get straight lines like this. So I'm copying her, so that was great. Thanks very much, Veronica. So what I'm going to do first is, with these, this is my piece of acetate and this is my dome. I have one dome here which I've put the little red mark on. It's not blood, and that's not blood either. I'm just clumsy when it comes to red. This one was actually broken, so I'm using this as my guide, and you may want to take this. For example, when I was looking at my card stamps, stamp sets that I could use for this, it was useful having this to be able to pop over there and see what would fit. I actually picked out 11 different stamp sets that I could use for doing this. The thing is, the reason I'd recommend just use one for that is because I've used this so many times, no doubt there's dirty fingerprints on it now, whereas I wouldn't want to do that to one of the ones that I'm about to use. So first of all, start off by making our shaker, and I'm using the Subtle Shimmer sequins, which are in this current Christmas catalogue. And what I recommend you do is first of all take that backing off, like that. I find it easier to do it this way. The only thing you need to be careful of now is when you pinch these into here, just don't drop any on your sticky bit. Okay, I normally take about 3 or 4 pinches. I normally spill them all over the place as well. Oops. That's it. That's the first time I've done that, would you believe it? I'll save it until making a video. Right, shall we have one more in there? Right. Oops, go on properly, please. There we go. Okay, so then you take your piece of acetate. If you have used dryer sheets, you can give the inside of that a wipe round before you put your sequins in, of course, and give this a wipe over so it removes all the static. Unfortunately, I don't use dryer sheets, so I don't have that luxury. Now all I'm going to do is pop this right over the cloche, and it is going to stick on there. So whatever kind of insert you're having, these are not going to get stuck on your, either that one, which it probably wouldn't get stuck anyway because that's just one sheet, but where I've got this, which that's a die cut, so it's got a bump over the design series paper at the back, but it doesn't get caught because it's on a sheet of acetate. Now to me that is just an absolutely amazing idea. So that was Linda Heller where I got that idea from. Okay, so I've got that bit ready. I'm just going to pop the 2 bits on the inside. I can't do those 2 pieces yet, but I can these. And I'm determined not to talk too much because I do want to show you both of these. So we'll have Tombow. I have to say it was like a breath of fresh air really, the request from Melanie, because the more fancy fold cards I do, the more difficult it gets to find new ones. And it is nice now and again just to be able to make what I would call more regular kind of cards. Okay, so there's that one. Let's turn it over and pop it on the inside. I didn't decorate the inside of one of them, did I? I don't think. In fact, I don't think I decorated either the snowman or the penguin one. I did with the no, I didn't do that one. I did this one, did that little scene in there again, which is the same as that one. I don't think I did you, did I? No, so I'm going to have to look at those. Something else to watch out for is, because I've got my 2 layers on the front there, I've got 2 layers inside, and I think if you don't match up what you've got back and front, you might find that when your card stands up like that, it might topple forward, because mine was toppling forward once I'd finished all of this, but I hadn't put the back pieces in. Okay, right, so that's that. I am going to do this. I'm going to stamp it on here. I'm going to use my black Memento ink. As you can tell from this, I made the mistake one occasion of actually using stays on ink, which does not wash off on these photopolymer stamps. Now, but how far up do I need it? Not too far. There we go. So I'm going to colour him in these red and green, I think. So this is dark red, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to do the wide parts of the scarf in red, as I want red to be the more dominant colour. And I think probably the main part of the hat I'll also do red as well. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Sitting here thinking, what shall I do about that bit? Shall I just ignore it? Shall I do the whole thing green? Right, this is light old olive, which hopefully is going to look more like Pear Pizzazz, which is the colours that I've got in the designer series paper. I think I'm just going to go over that. And the nose I'm going to do with pumpkin pie. Well, that's a carrot. The one thing I was asked quite some time ago if I would show how I do it, and that is how I actually do the colouring when I do something around the edges, when I do my pool party, and rather than having this background all as plain white, I tend to go round and colouring just very small strokes with the, this is pale, light pool party rather, and I just very gently go all the way around. It just gives a bit of shading, if you like. And there really isn't anything to worry about this. There isn't any really right or wrong. You'll see that there'll be areas where I go a bit thicker, sometimes shorter lines. I've never been criticised for it, so I've always been happy with the final result. I just feel that it looks a bit better if you've got something there. It's almost like putting a bit of grounding on. If you do like a snowman, if there was nothing under here, it's just doing a bit of grounding so that he looks as if he doesn't look as if he is floating. So there's those, and also of course my Winkler Stella, and I go over the snow that he's standing on, and I do actually go over him as well. I'm not going to come too far down because I know that it's not going to be seen. So I'm just going to go all over his white bits. If you don't like this bit, you don't have to do it, obviously, but it does give him a little bit of a sparkle there. And then I normally just go a little bit over the snowflakes that are coming down on him as well. Right, there we go. So that's how I do him. And what I need next is to adhere this onto this bit here. I have to turn it sideways up towards me a bit so that I can actually see it. And you just decide where you want this to go. For me, I am coming over to this side a bit here. You can see that I'm coming off the edge there with my acetate, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. Alright, so that is where I want this to go. Now that I'm happy with that, what I'm going to do, where's my broken one that I use? Here. Okay, now that I know that, there we go. And I take a pencil, and once I've done that I know where I can put my Tombow. The pencil line won't be seen, so don't worry about that. So I'm just doing Tombow on the outside of that pencil line. A little bit underneath there. And I'm going to pop this back down. I do need this to be up a little bit. Just make sure he's standing up straight. Okay? So I'm happy with that. I've still got one of my covers on here, the adhesive. So what I need now is I need to know where to die cut. Okay, so these are the dies that you get with the that match the Cloche, classic Cloche stamp set. So this one is the one that we'll actually be using. This is the one that I use when I'm doing this one. Okay. And you can die cut all these little trees. These you can use to die cut little like snow mounds, and they fit in the bottom down here. Okay, so they're all the bits that you can have. On the stamp set there are two things which are 3-step stamping. I do this one. I think this one comes out beautifully, but this one is just as easy to use your blends or your marker pens to colour these as to try and line them up. To me that's a bit too much like hard work. This is easy, I like this one. So I just, if I do the birds, then I just do that by painting rather than 3-step stamping. Okay, so now I'm going to decide. Now this is one of those times when I do actually tend to use washi tape, because I like to be able to sit here and get this where I want it to go. And the other, oh that's right, the other thing that I tend to do is, because you know how, let's put that up on the legs there. My ruler, I know that I kept that down. Honestly, never being able to find anything on my desk. You would think my desk is a real tip, wouldn't you? But at the moment, I really don't have very much on here at all. Oh, there it is, I've got it. There we go. Right, so I'm lining this piece of paper up. So it's straight across there, straight there. And then I'm going to decide where I want my cloche to go. I think I normally have it up about there. Does that look about straight? Right, so now I'm going to draw a little line across here. Again, that's not going to be seen, so I can put that on there. Just make sure it's about the same sort of gaps either side. Okay, put that on there, that on there. So I'm going to bring my Big Shot up. In fact, as I'm using washi tape, I could have got my other machine over my cut and emboss. Okay, so that didn't move, good, good. Well, you do get that left over. I'll put that back on my tripod legs again. I'll bring this back in a little while. Okay, so what have we got now? First of all, I'm going to cut that bit off there. Now the only bit of this that's going to be seen is inside that white mark there, so it doesn't matter what other bits you cut off, except you do need some there so that it does actually adhere down like that. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take this off. This is so much easier than having to use foam strips and everything. Now I'm going to keep this bit up first. I find it easier to put this down on here before I get the rest of it done. Okay, so that's all of that done. Yep, that looks straight to me. So now, see, that's not straight, but it doesn't matter, it's not going to be seen as long as it's straight from the front, which I think that is. So I'm going to put Tombow on the Designer Series paper, the red bit, and then I'm going to put Tombow on this bit as well, so I know everything will be adhered down nicely. Let's just put this over here in case I make a mess. There we go. As you see, I don't stamp the actual cloche on here. There are stamps for the outline there and also for the top bit if you want, but I don't bother about them when I'm doing this. So now I'm going to pop this one on here. Let's move that up a bit, it's a bit low. It's quite funny to see those dancing in there. But there we go. Okay, my sentiment that I've been using which I haven't cleaned, so let me get my chamois. I've had to treat myself to a new chamois. I've lost mine. I have no idea what I have done with it. I mean, you know, something as big as this, how can you lose it? For me, it was quite easy. What colour I'm going to use red for this, I think. And I brought over a little strip, didn't I? That's a bit hairy. Let's do this one instead. This one's a bit shorter as well. So I'm using real red here. And the one I'm using is It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Let's bring that down to line it up straight. Make sure that you can still see what I'm doing. Okay. Not very good. Let's try that one again. In fact, let me just smooth off the bumpy bit where the where it's gone through, been cutting the trimmer. Okay, let's try that one again. I'm going to come right the way down because I can't afford to not get this right the second time. Oh, much better, look at that. Whew. So pop that away. Now I am going to show you how I get a nice, evenly cut sentiment here. And what I do is I cut one like that, and to make sure I get that side the same, I take that one and I put it however far I want it past that letter. Turn it around and cut. Look at that, perfect. I love it. Much easier than trying to do the like fishtail at the ends. Okay, as I've got that on the bottom, I'm going to stick this straight down onto my card. I don't like popping it out where it's it would be visible if somebody turned the card sideways. Does anybody else feel like that? I don't mind making well, I'd rather not make mistakes, but it doesn't bother me making mistakes. But I don't like to advertise it. Right, where's my tweezers? I don't think I've used them yet, have I? I don't think so. Well, that's a bit clumsy actually, trying to work without those. There's a bit that I've forgotten as well, which I always forget. And I don't know whether you noticed it, but this little bit underneath there, it's like the base of the dome, if you like. I've done the same on all of mine. Okay, so I've got that fancy bit and the white and the blue one. And on the one underneath there, I didn't use the white, I used the designer series paper from the back there. So let me do that. I did bring some scraps over with me, I know. That one. In fact, where's that one I didn't like? I can use that. Okay, so I'm going to bring my Big Shot back, do those. And these two dies, that one there for the underneath, and that one there for the top one. So let's just cut a smaller piece off this. I don't want to put the whole lot through the machine. So we should have red underneath, I think, and the white on the top. I'm not sure if that's right, but we'll find out. Red underneath, white on top. I'm a bit noisy today. Okay, so there's a red one and the white one. Pop that back. There we go. I'm going to use Tombow on this again. I'm just going to give it little dots if it comes out again. Yep. There we go. And the white piece on top, for some reason, is a bit bigger than the red piece underneath. It's not... It does fit. Come on. Just trying to get the red bit down a bit. Come on. Oh, that's good. Done that. Okay, it's quite pretty. I'm not sure quite what the decoration is meant to be, but there we go. That looks alright, doesn't it? I'm just going to put glue on this as well. Pop it in. And I'm also going to show you how I've been tying my bows as well. All the bows I've done are double. There we go, that's it. There we go, that's that. Now this is something I've had for absolutely years, and I have put it in the sandbox asking if Stampin' Up could bring one out, but I haven't been listened to. Maybe not enough people asking for it. But this is a bow maker. Don't ask me what this bit is for. I know I've got other pink pegs that go in there, but that wasn't what I bought it for. It was just for this. And I'm going to use our red sheer ribbon. And I should have measured the length of it, but I forgot. But I hope you can see, hope you get a good shot from where you are. So what I do is, okay, this is about 17, 18 inches long. So I put one. I wonder if I can pop this up so that you get a much better view. They'll stay still, won't they? Let's take another one. What we got? Purple Posy. Oh, that's gone. Finished. Right, oh, yep, you can see me better now. Okay, so it goes straight through like that, and then with my right hand I bring it round again, so it's gone through twice, and then with my right hand I make it go underneath the other one, keep them all straight. Okay, so it's straight like that, and then I bring that one over, and keeping it straight I make it come back through underneath. I don't let go normally. Let's try that one again. Okay, so it's like that. Bring it over. This one goes over. Keep them straight like that. And then put that through underneath there, holding on tight. And then as you bring that one through, bring it back over here. So you've got two straight ones again. Keep those straight. Fold it over. Pull that one through. Just let it fold in half, don't let it twist, okay? And then just pull them really, really tight. And then slide it off. So now I have a really cute little double bow there. Now this time the two ends have gone up there. If I pull them, yep, they've come down, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to put it on here by using a couple of glue dots. I'll trim the tails in a minute, but you can see how far too long that was, but it just made it easier to actually work with. Right, now you will find one side is better than the other to use. Okay, that's the better side. That is the not so good side. Alright, so just check which two sides you've got, which one you like best. And then I put one glue dot on, and then I put another glue dot on, and then pop that up there. Which way do you want to go? At this stage you may need to encourage it. And then I'm just going to cut these. I fold it in half and then normally cut it from the wrong direction. I finish up with a point on mine rather than like the fish tail. So if I cut it that way. Okay, so I've got the little fishtail bit, can you see that? No, I don't think you can you? Oh, no, that's the opposite. Let's try that again, see if I can show you. I'll bring it up to you. So what I'm going to do, cut from the folded side. From the folded side, cut upwards. No. From the folded side, cut downwards. That's better. Can you see that? Trouble is working with the domes, they're so shiny. Right, okay, so I'm not going to worry about doing the inside because I'm more concerned about showing you the other card. Okay, so what I have done, a little bit of ahead of time, I've already done this bit because I've shown you how to do that. Okay, so I've got all my same bits in here. So that's for that. So that must be my scrap piece. Okay. Now, this bit I like doing. Where's my stamp set? Right, there are 3. that one which is for the actual buildings. There's that one that's for the trees, and this is for the actual outlines, the black and everything. Okay, so this is the right height again. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to do the black first. This is going to be die cut anyway. Did I? Oh yes, I brought this piece over as well. This is another piece. I'm going to use this as my background behind this because I don't want it just on white. I'm going to die cut it and then put it on here. It's the closest to snow that I could get. Diamond shaped snowflakes. But that's okay. Right, I've got a bit of glue there. That's gone. Right, okay. So this is black memento again. Close to the bottom, but not right on the bottom. There we go, that's good. Don't need that one. And the colours I've brought over. Red for the houses and green for the trees. So I'm going to do the trees first. I can see there's a hair on that. Right, this, as far as I'm concerned, is really easy to line up. If you just take your stamp first and look at it and line it up with nothing on there so that you know which bits you're going to be lining up. Now on this one, I go for the windows first. Now I'm not going to be able to line it up from down here while I show you. Can I? No, I can't. It's asking too much of me. But if you take that down and line the windows up, which is really fairly easy. Okay, that's them all lined up. So that's what you need to do with your green ink. Now I'm not sure whether I want to do stamp down straight away with green or whether I want to stamp off first. So I'm going to test this on my scrap of paper here, that one or that one. No, I'm going to go for the first one, the hardest, the darkest colour. Oh, there's 2 bits of paper there. Okay, so let's bring this round here. Yep, that's good. Okay, so I'm now lining up because my windows are going to be coloured green. Okay. You also get the green lines around the edges of the roofs as well. But that's okay. Happy with that one. And then I'm going to do the buildings red, and again I'm going to double check my red ink whether I want it the first one or stamped off. I mean, this really depends on how well inked. It looks okay actually, doesn't it? Nice and dark. I'm going to do for the first stamping. Now this one fills out your buildings, but not the... I wonder if I can bring you down. Right, hold tight a moment. we go. Can you see? Oh yes, you should be able to see this. I can't. Right, if I do make a hash of this, you have to bear with me. Oh, well, here we go. Good heavens. Oh, sorry. Let's take you out again. Can you see that one? No. Yes, you can. Okay. That's quite amazing considering how far away I was from it. Oh, I think my button has gone to sleep a bit here. Not moving very quickly. Okay, so now I'll get it really close to you. Okay, so yep, I'm pleased with that. Let's move this one out of the way. So what do I need to do? Want that on there. Where's my grey piece that I was showing you? Oh, it's here. So I'm going to put that onto there. That doesn't need to be die cut, does it? No, because that's going to go straight on. That's going to go on there first. Right, okay, let's get this die cut. And then we will also need that one as well, won't we? Okay, so before I do that, let's decide where I want my cloche to be cut. Let's get this lined up. Oh, mind you, I've got the straight lines there anyway, haven't I? Assuming the lines are straight. That's about the same. Okay. Right, okay, let's get this back. There we go. There's that one. Now this one I try and leave just a little bit of white around it. I just feel that it comes down a bit too low without the white. And there we go. So now I want that like that. So it's coming up like that. First of all, I'm going to use my Wink of Stella. Just do a little bit on the roots, but do be careful at this stage because you can pick up the green ink. And you finish up getting green roofs. There we go, that's good, I like that. So I'm going to adhere this onto here first with Tombow. can tell I never work without, oh there they are, my tweezers. So you can tell I never work without them. Now is that about right? Yep, that's good. See how handy that is? Just make sure it's in the right place, because you can't really see through here properly now. So now I need to pop that onto there. So again, you could always save one of these to draw around, but it's not as easy because as you can see it's really floppy. So that's going to go there. Okay, so that's where that's going to be going. So now I know where my glue is going. Again, all the glue is going to be on the outside of my pencil lines. Let me tip this up a bit. Okay, let me just double check with that one. Yep, that's fine. Okay. So again, you can see I've got come over quite the edge there, but it probably wouldn't matter when sticking it onto. Oh, I did do it, didn't I? Just put it on one side. Chances are it won't matter. Although I have to say, one of mine did actually come over the edge. If that happens, you just trim it back down again. Right, so there we go, that's alright. Oh, I've got some sticky on there. Ah. Well, there must be somewhere getting sticky off of acetate. I will find it. Okay, so, oh look at that, that's almost, it's very straight, look at that. Right, so what am I going to do first? I am going to stick this onto here. No, I'm not. First of all, I'm going to get this stuck down, aren't I? I didn't feel that was the right move. There we go. Get rid of that. Again, I'm going to keep this bit up so I can do the bottom bit first. That's it, and then follow that down. Right, going to put glue there, some on the acetate as well. We'll put a little bit on that Designer Series paper, on the green one, but it's too close there I think to get on that one. If I put any there it's only going to ooze out and I don't want that. Obviously this does feel a bit bumpy over here because you've got the different, the edges of the cloche and also the paper and the Designer Series paper as well. So let's put some glue on here. go. That's that card. Well, it's not finished. I'm going to finish it off camera, and I will photograph it and put it on my blog tomorrow morning, or at least the morning that the video goes live. I would do a little bow for it like this, and I would do a sentiment like that. But hopefully the next one I can pop it up on dimensionals like I've done with these others. Okay, I have thoroughly enjoyed playing with this. I really have. Thank you very much, Melanie, for asking for it. Let's move those two away from each other. Too similar. And that one as well. Look at them. Beautiful. So, many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this project, and I hope you give it a go. As I said earlier, I'll be putting all the measurements in the box below the video. Inches and metric for A4 cardstock users, and inches for letter size cardstock users. I'll also put a list of all the ingredients that I've used for this card, and there'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop as well. If you don't have a demonstrator and you'd like to shop with me, first of all, thank you very much, really appreciate it. But please remember, when you put your order in, please use my October hostess code, so that when I send you your happy mail at the beginning of November, I can also include some free product with it for you. Okay, so many thanks for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, please take care, stay safe, happy crafting, cheerio.